Welcome to the BFF Report. I'm your host, Mike B.A.K. Phony, and today we're going to be talking about Tribes Ascend from the same guys that did Global Agenda, Hi-Rez Studios, Hi-Rez Goer, and all those guys. Well, remember, we talked about Global Agenda back in the day, right? And it was a good game. There was nothing terribly wrong with it, but there was a patch of people that were just like, this game reminds me of Tribes. Now, I grew up, I paid attention to people that were playing Tribes, but I was so deep in Unreal Tournament, I didn't give any shit about anything that anybody else was playing. None. Oh yeah, why? EverQuest? Boy, that game looks really dumb. I'm going back to play Unreal Tournament. Oh, Tribes, what's going on? You're skiing? Who skis in games, right? It was really a stupid, like, kind of approach. But anyways, these guys picked up Tribes, the IP, right? They went and picked that up and they're making games for it, right? So this is Tribes Ascend. This is the straight up first person shooter, right? This isn't the MMO version, which I think is on the back burner right now. Initially called Tribes Universe, obviously subject to change. But this game is in beta, I got a chance to check it out, and now I'm here to show you guys what I've found. And the first thing we're gonna be taking a look at today is gonna be the menu options. Now, the first thing you see when you get into the game is this. This is the home screen, obviously under construction, because when you log into the game at launch, like actual launch, you probably don't wanna see the keybinds and how to ski. But this makes sense for a beta, from a beta perspective, because people who are getting this game for the first time, they may not know, one, how to ski, or two, what buttons to push to do stuff. So we go here to settings. You could change all those if you want to over here on the right-hand side. And audio settings, video settings. They just added the screen type window thing this morning, which is a great addition because that's something that a lot of us like to have, especially when you're trying to stream this stuff. Whenever you try to alt tab and something's full screen only, usually XSplit is just like, oh, really? And it crashes on you. So nice to see that they added that in. Thank you very much. Over here, we see field of view and mouse sensitivity as well as other things. I'm gonna show you guys the field of view thing and how playing this on anything other than like 150 billion is very difficult to do. Before we get started, this is your default POV of 90 degrees. This is 120. In my opinion, I cannot play at 90, so 120 is the only way to go. Any of you guys that have played Quake Live, Quake 3, Quake 3 Arena, you guys already know that you want to play at that highest field of view because then you can see everything that's going on around you and you will never get blindsided. If you're a range class, don't worry. It doesn't matter when you zoom in, you will still have the same field of view no matter which one that you select yourself. So if you're at 120, you zoom in, it's exactly the same as if you're at 70 and you zoom in. Now on this page, you get to see all of your different loadouts. Now, some of you guys who may have played the older versions of Tribes 1 and 2, I think in Tribes 2 specifically, you had the ability of actually modifying your loadout down to the individual weapon that you're carrying. Here, you have preset weapons depending on your specific loadout, right? So every single, on your left-hand side there, you can see there's the armor type, heavy, your main hand, your offhand, or I guess your secondary weapon, your deployable, and obviously your thrown, so your grenade. So everybody has something a little bit different. Anti-personnel grenade, technician has the tool light turret, right? Looking at the rest of the screen here, you see we have class XP, upgrade skills. So we're gonna go and find something that I have some actual XP in, which this guy, obviously, this was one of the stock classes that you got to play with when you first get into the game, and so I was Ranger and I believe Soldier. These are the two that I played with the most. Not the ones that I had the most fun with though, because I actually had to go and throw down some cash in order to unlock some of these other ones like Sentinel, Jumper, Technician, Juggernaut. And the reason why I picked these is because each one is very different from the other. Sentinel being the long range sniper, Jumper being a very fast, obviously, and he jumps, kind of more of a flag catcher, right, or flag capper. Also, the Pathfinder would be another one that's very similar to this. The Technician, which is very close to the Technician type class as in Global Agenda, where you could deploy things. And we'll get into that in a second. I'll actually show you guys some of this. And the Juggernaut. I don't even think I need to explain what this guy's purpose is. So in here, we have a whole bunch of different perks that we could select. But right now, everything's locked with, it says locked within a specific class, right? So to me, this says, okay, maybe eventually I can unlock these things and make them interchangeable. However, some of them doesn't really make sense with each and every other class. So I'm curious to see how this thing is going to expand as I level up, but for right now, I just have a whole bunch of pretty grayed out icons. Now, if we go to actual upgrade skills, you can see that there's kind of like a talent tree type setup, right? So I usually cover MMOs, so when I say talent tree, most of you guys will be like, oh, I know what this is. You get XP, you can spend it to unlock things, you go down a path, you choose how you want to go, right? This is all very self-explanatory. The share XP button work yet? Dang, does not work yet. I would love to be able to take some of that XP and put it on a class that I actually give an F about. So let's go ahead and actually jump into the game as a Ranger, and I'll show you guys some of the gameplay types that are available. Click on play. You have two different types. You have Capture the Flag and Rabbit. Capture the Flag is very self-explanatory. And Rabbit, which is basically kill the guy with the ball, right? Kill the man with the skull or whatever. One person has the flag. Everybody else chases after him and tries to kill him. That's pretty much it. All right, so now we are in a game, and this is actually a brand new map that I haven't seen yet. There's a giant spaceship flying overhead. That is really cool. And is it raining down stuff on us? I noticed there's a couple airstrikes going on, but the reason why I'm here right now is because I want to show you guys some of the different ways of maneuvering yourself around a map before we lose terribly. Holy crap, guys. Wow, way to go, everybody. Good job, team. So, So the first thing I'm gonna show you guys is how to make your way around a map. This is the Ranger class. This is not the most mobile class, right? This is just a class that has decent mobility. Over here on the left-hand side, you can see mobility is like 50%, right? Your Jumper and your Pathfinders and stuff like that, the light armor classes are the ones that you're really gonna get some good speed going with. But for the most part, we're gonna try to get this flag in one swoop by using skiing. Whoops, that was a really bad start. We're gonna get up here. Oh, looks like that guy's gonna do the same thing. We might roll right behind this guy here. Here we go. Shank someone on the way out. Here we go. Oh, ouch! Damn it! So what we just saw happen is exactly what you're going to see right here. See the flag just dropped right there? Now, there's a spin fuse around, it explodes, and the flag gets thrown again. So the physics applies in this game. When there's an explosion, it's going to knock you to the side, or the flag, or whatever else is in the vicinity, it's going to move it. And so what you saw happen there was I was definitely on a good line, about to go in between and break those boxes, but then as you can see here, there's an explosion, and then my face slams like into the wall or something. Doesn't really matter. I'm pretty much dead no matter what, and that is how you could use explosive devices, ordnance, grenades, and whatever to your advantage when not really trying to kill somebody, but trying to kind of break their path, slow the speed down, or even get the flag maneuvered to a better position or out of the enemy's hands. So since we're here, let me go ahead and demonstrate some of the different abilities that different classes have. We're standing right next to a skill thing, so I'll be able to jump in here and jump out and just kind of show you guys everything really quick. So, for example, this is the Sentinel, and we're gonna go ahead and jump in here and change this out. You just jump into any inventory or just leap right over it, and it will swap you out just like that. He has the ability of dropping an a radar jammer, which makes things obviously harder to track you. You have the ability to actually snipe, right? We've all used this before. Let's go ahead and swap out to the Jumper. Jumper is a good example of a very fast class. We're gonna go ahead and jump in this guy. Now I am the Jumper. Notice that my radar jammer fell apart. That kind of makes sense. It'd be a little bit OP if you couldn't. Now, from a standstill position, I hit the C button. It lunges me forward, right? Gives me a good amount of speed if I'm on an area that I can't necessarily launch myself. So holding down the ski button, hit it again. See, gives me a good amount. Hit it again. See, keeps on climbing. So I could probably get going pretty good, but if you notice, it does eat up a lot of energy. But this guy is just so agile and so fast. It's ridiculous how much speed you could get with this guy. All right, so now that we're up here, let's go ahead and see if we can't hit something just right, or get it close enough so you guys can see what I'm talking about when I talk about like really using a light class and getting some serious speed going. Here we go, 200. 215, clear this hill right here, and hit it just right. Okay, that was a little off. Notice how I actually decreased my speed a little bit. I can still get it up there though, redlining a little. So that was a pretty decent example of how to ski and maximize the momentum, maximize the terrain, and also using your secondary abilities. So here I am using a medium armor class as a stock character, flying right through the base, flying right out. This is how you're supposed to grab flags. You typically don't want to just walk in there and be like, oh, stop, I'm gonna take this flag, you mind, right? Because you need that momentum to get the hell out of there. You notice I'm being chased. I'm trying to make it to the other side as quickly as possible. I jump into my own base, again, accuracy, controlling your energy spend, and obviously momentum, using terrain. All that stuff comes into play when you're playing this game. What about some of the other classes? This is a Juggernaut, or more affectionately called Big Jugs. And here, he could take a serious beating. This guy's been following me around, getting my nerves, shank, get on my face. But he can seriously take a pretty good beating. He's got a spin fuser, so he can launch himself if he needs to. And he also has what's like a mortar round, right? So you can see there in action. What's up? See you, Huff. We also have the Technician, which again is similar to the one in Global Agenda. You can drop turrets, you heal them, of course, with your little fuse weapon there. But for the most part, you just set a turret and then kind of stand back and back it up. You can also heal other people's turrets, and probably the most useful part of playing this character, and actually this is very quickly becoming my favorite class, is sitting downstairs with a generator, and this probably brings us to the point of a generator. underneath the base, each base has a generator somewhere inside of the base itself, no matter what map you're on. And the generators control the turrets. If the generator is down, then the turrets go down, right? And you can upgrade your turrets, you can upgrade the generator by spending credits that you earn by playing the game, right? You guys probably noticed I was getting like plus 200, plus 1,000, plus whatever for doing things, killing people, grabbing flags, etc. But here, I have just set up a turret, I'm just kind of hanging out, and you notice that my turret's pretty much doing all the work. Why just kind of sit here and heal up things as they need healing? And that is kind of the point of being a technician. I did see a perk somewhere that said something about adding another drop, but I don't think that applies here. It'd be sick if I could have more than one of these guys laying around, but I think I'd probably just lock down to just having one. Sigh. And last but not least, we have vehicles. Again, you earn credits by doing things, and then you can turn around, you can buy stuff. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and build a grab cycle. The physics on the vehicles all are pretty bad right now. Everything's very shaky, things don't necessarily flow as good as they can. They should, you see it's all shaky, right? But I'm pretty optimistic that Hi-Rez is gonna iron some of these things out because people are in the forums and they are providing tons of feedback and they're listening. One of the examples, of course, is the speed cap removal. And so that is, again, direct feedback from players. So if you're in the beta, get in there and provide some feedback. The game is still in early beta, so pretty much everything I showed you here is probably gonna change. It's not gonna look anything like this game, and then I'm gonna look back on this a year later and be like, what game was that? No idea.